All right. What's up, everybody? What's up? So, I want to kick this off, considering what day it is and everything. Do a little bit of a beat of silence for it being 9/11, obviously, for the tragedy, 20 years since. I still remember where I was when that happened, man. Like it was yesterday. So, just a quick little reprieve for just a moment. And man, all right, guys, we got a lot to talk about this week. What's up, everybody? What's up, Jeff? What's up, Philly? Vexington? Steeksy Marksville? We'll see. We'll see how this goes, because I don't have anything in my stomach yet today. I was 10. No, I gotta do math. I don't remember. I remember where I was. I just can't. The dates always throw me off, because I was in 8th grade. Yeah, I was 13. 13. No, I was. Yeah, I was 13 going on 14. Yeah, man. It was an English class, and everything stopped as our teacher threw on the news, and it was crazy, man. I know it was irrational, man. Like for me personally, just because I was a kid, I was young, so like after that whole thing, man, like I was paranoid anytime there was a plane above me for a while. Like it was scary, man. Saw Shang-Chi last week and it was awesome, and we can talk about spoilers without worrying about anything here today. So if you haven't seen Shang-Chi, and we talk about Shang-Chi, gave you a week. What do I think about the Wolverine game announcement? Well, I did a little bit of a video on it, but I'm excited. It's one of the things I wish I was watching it live, because I would have been more excited. But I'd already seen like the headlines and stuff like that. For stuff like that, I don't get to usually catch it live in general, because they usually happen while I'm at work. It's right at the end of work, or in this case, it was kind of a mix of all of that, and I was still working on trying to get Titans, this week's episode of Titans, to be unblocked. Which, after I uploaded a different version of it, which didn't get blocked, they finally got back to me a day later, releasing the claim on the one that put up. So sometimes I can't wait on WB to get back to me, so I had to take it into my own hands. But yeah, I'm really excited for it. I mean, Insomniac did a fantastic job with the Spider-Man games, with the first one with Miles Morales, and I'm really excited for Spider-Man 2. Just for them to also be doing this Wolverine game, it's got me really excited, and I'm wondering like to what extent they're going to incorporate it. Is it still going to be open world? Is this like how different is it going to be from the style they added to Spider-Man? Is it going to be grittier? I hope it is. And like I talked about, one of my favorite things, one of the few good things that came out of the X-Men Origins video game, was that really awesome, and specifically on the PlayStation version, because that version had a mature, uncensored version of the game, the regeneration effect. Like that, you see the damage in his body, and as your health regenerates, you get to watch your skin and your muscles and your flesh and organs grow back. I hope they do something like that. That would be super, super cool. What's up, Larson? Infinity Stones from the movies versus the 10 rings in the comics. The Infinity Stones. I mean, the Infinity Stones are just as powerful as they are in the comics as they are in the films. And the Infinity Stones are always more powerful than the 10 rings. Though they do share a lot of similar powers, the power scaling the Infinity Stones have is just like much, much greater, I would think. Do I think dragon scales are stronger than vibranium? I don't know. I would have to say, since they're organic, but they're also magical, I would have to say they're probably of the same scale. Scale, get it? But we'll see. I'm not sure. I feel like there's going to be less abilities for the Wolverine game because that kind of ruins the OG look and aesthetic of Logan. I mean, sure. I mean, a lot of his abilities are going to be tied to his healing and tied to his forms of combat. I mean, I don't think it's going to get any crazier than that. So it's going to be, I would have to imagine it's going to be a little bit of a brawler, hack and slash, kind of maybe Devil May Cry-ish, roguelike maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Do the 10 rings have reality warping powers? Yes. Though I do think that it's more like illusionary. Kind of like with what Thanos did in no, they actually can, one of them can change the composition of things too. So I think yes. I don't remember all 10 of the different powers though. I think there's going to be less ability. I read that one. From what I've gotten from the info is that the hub, it will have a hub similar to God of War and a journey like the Odyssey. Yes, the book. Okay. All right, cool. How many episodes is Lex going to be in Supergirl after 10? Episode 10. I don't know. I know he still pops up, but I think right now our main focus is going to be on Nixley, so I don't know. I hope we see him before the end. I do like that the showrunner, that Todd Helbing is talking about the possibilities of him appearing on Superman and Lois moving forward after Supergirl ends, so I'm excited for that. I don't think that's true. We all love Wolverine live action even before we got the rated R Logan movie. I'm not saying I want a rated T Wolverine game, but it could work. Yeah, it could work, but you wouldn't be able to do that mechanic that I want on a T for teen game. They did like a version of it, but it was not nearly as cool or as fun as the PlayStation version, which didn't have any of the censoring. But I think when you're talking games and talking movies, it's very, very different. They just announced 4 dates in 2024. What do you think it is for Marvel? I don't know. I'm hoping one of them at least is Fantastic Four. Maybe something X-Men related. Other than that, I really don't know. Do you think Gotham Knights will be delayed again? Probably. The game still looks rough to me from what we've seen before, and we haven't really seen much since the initial release. But I think that I don't know. I don't have high hopes for that game personally, because it definitely gives me a lot of similar vibes as the Marvel Avengers game, especially since it's a live service game. It's based on cosmetics. It's multiplayer. It definitely setting off a lot of my red flags for video games as of late. So I'm really hoping it doesn't really go down that route. I really want Wolverine to go full berserk in this game. We'll see. I mean, from what we saw in the teaser, he had already kind of like fucked up that entire bar. So, I mean, he's definitely not in the best of places. He's definitely got blood and dirt on him. So, don't know. We'll see. Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus versus Rey, Luke, and Sam Jackson characters from Star Wars. Well, the pairing them up is difficult because Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus only have powers in the Matrix. Except for Neo. He can influence machines outside of the Matrix. And I still don't know if that's only machines that are tied to the Matrix. So I don't know if he could... So he wouldn't really be able to do anything to them unless they were in the Matrix. But if they were also inserted into the Matrix, they would pretty much just have similar powers. In the Matrix, Neo could beat them. Other than that, they would get raffle stomped on equal footing. I mean, damn, didn't Abomination look fire? Now I'm curious where he went. But it looks like he was taken back to the raft. Did you look through the portal? I think so. It looked like a special containment facility where he was being held, which for him, having a special cell makes sense. So I would have to imagine it's on the raft, considering it was Thunderbolt Ross who actually arrested him in the Hulk film. So I think it's pretty easy. Do you think Insomniac is teasing Hulk with that license plate, or is it just a simple reference? I think it's probably going to be a simple reference, but then again, with these games, they always kind of like throw Easter eggs out to the greater universe, like the Sanctum Sanctorum and the Avengers Tower being in Spider-Man and the all of that. So like, I feel like the references are going to be there, but then again, you do have just characters beyond their scope popping in. So maybe Hulk could be one of those characters. I mean, Hulk and Wolverine kind of go hand in hand since Wolverine was introduced in a Hulk comic. So it's possible. It could just be an Easter egg reference, but he very well could end up being in the game. I'd be down for either. Do you think they will bring back Gotham? The show? No. No, I really, really doubt it. That we'll see that show come back. I feel like Ryan and Barry are going to have a great friendship. I hope so. I hope so. Given Ryan's reactions to certain things, I'm not sure. But I hope so. I do hope so. I'm really hyped for the Batman movie. Me too, man. Me too. I can't wait for that film to come out, dude. Really can't. I don't know what the fuck I just said. Count. Batman. 1, 2, 3, Batman. Ha 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 ha. Fantastic Four coming 4/4/24. Maybe. I feel like Rick from Stargirl should interact with Barry. Why is that? I mean, it would be an interesting interaction, but their personalities are very different. I'm not sure what that interaction would go like, because he's very hard-headed and abrasive. I find it interesting that Thanos was so susceptible to the zombie virus. With that ending, is it safe to say that Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Ant-Man are dead? Probably. More than likely, yes. Especially with the Watcher's choice of words, I do think that they are going to be dead. I am very curious about how he got infected. I do think he went to New York first. Obviously, the corpse of Doctor Strange and the Eye of Agamotto would be there. So someone in New York would have had to have infected him. But again, he went toe-to-toe. He whooped the shit out of the Hulk. And the Hulk can't be bitten by these things. So, like, I'm like, how did a normal zombie break his skin? Don't know. So it had to have been somebody with some intense power levels that got infected that also infected him. So I don't know. It's a good question. One of many plot holes in that episode. It was still fun. It's not my favorite episode, but it was still a fun episode. But there are definitely a lot of questions that it raises. What is it? What info do you have for that? Which season of Superman and Lois do you like Lex to show up in, 2 or 3? I mean, 2. I think 2 would be fine. It would make sense. Connect the universe a little bit more. There's no release date for F4, even from leaks. I mean, I think he's just guessing that one of the release dates that Marvel announced was that. Even though that's not one of the release dates that were provided, so nix that whole thing. I think it'd be hard for people in the studio to figure out what abilities they should make for the Wolverine game, because I feel like if you go all the way out, it ruins the OG look and aspects of Wolvie. I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean. Like, what do you mean by go all the way out, and how would it ruin the look of Wolverine? I mean, it'd have to be abilities that he has. So, like, I'm just a little confused on where your mindset's at, rushing these. So if you can explain, let me know. Be so funny to me. Come out in the day. Do you think WB will try to get the Russo brothers? Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. I don't think they're really out to steal everybody from Marvel. I think they're out for people who they think would work well in what they're trying to build. And I'm not sure that the Russo brothers would really fit in with their brand of storytelling right now. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I doubt we'll see them like... Maybe they'll do something for WB, but I don't know if they're being courted for something DC related, if that's what you mean. I think Thanos is using the Reality Stone to blend with the zombies. Now that could be smart. That still also raises the question of how did the infection get into Wakanda, given the barrier? Because Okoye left, everything was fine. But when they came back, obviously this Wakanda is already infected. So I'd imagine somebody that with the ability to breach the barrier brought the infection in with them. That'd be my train of thought. But you're right. He very well could be using the Reality Stone. How do you think Spider-Man 2 will handle using the NYPD given the public sentiment around police recently? Not trying to start a political argument or anything, but given they were heavily in the first game, I think they'll just keep them just as much of a presence as they were. I feel like the game in the game world, it's going to be, I imagine it'll be completely unaffected by everything going on outside of this. New combos are traversal for Logan. They used pretty good. Yeah, they were used pretty well in Miles Morales, which came out during and after all of that. So I don't know. We'll just have to keep our eyes open and see. Gotham Season 5 was rushed. The Bane storyline was garbage. I think that was because they didn't really have the game plan to be canceled. I can't remember, but yeah, Season 5 was all over the place. Season 5 was my least favorite season of the show, and it was it had one of the most disappointing finales for me that I've ever seen. Did I watch James Wan's new horror film, Malignant? Yes. I actually, just before going live, posted my review of the film. So I'll let you check that out. Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Yeah, Kazi's got the idea of it, and like, yeah, he knows it, but he doesn't do a good job at blending the other stuff together. What's up, Luis? Which PS Showcase game am I more excited about? Ooh. Out of all of them, I'm probably the most excited, and this might seem like a surprise. I'm most excited for Spider-Man 2. One, and I'll give a couple of reasons. One, they've done fantastic so far. I've loved the first game. I loved the Miles Morales expansion, spin-off, whatever you actually want to call it, DLC. Loved it. So they've earned like this hype in my heart for that game, and with them introducing Venom and Kraven, I'm more than excited, and having both the Spider-Man in the game, super excited for that. The next on the list is easily going to be Knights of the Old Republic. The reason that's not number one is because that is one of my favorite games of all time, my favorite Star Wars character of all time, and I'm just as excited as I am to replay the game in like updated graphics, updated technology, playing it again, reliving that experience. I'm also, with what they've said about where it sits and what they plan on looking at changing, I'm concerned about the Lucas Games side of things and what they will and will not change. So I'm a little, as excited as I am, I'm also kind of worried about whether they will do it justice or whether they will try to Disneyfy that game. If you kind of know what I'm getting at there. How many seasons do you think Spider-Man and Lois, Superman and Lois will have, and how many do you want it to do? I would want it to go until it makes sense to come to a close. I'm down with them going as long as they can, as long as the stories stay decent. At the quality level that they've had right now, it's already unlike any other CW show. So I honestly can't predict how many I think it will have. 4, 5 minimum. I don't think I think it'll last longer than any of the other shows have. So we've had some end at 4, we've had some end at 5. So I would say at least 4 seasons. I expected to surpass that mark. If you have a choice between a green pill or purple pill, green pill gives you the power of Cersei of the Eternals, and the purple pill gives you the power of Shang-Chi and the 10 rings, which do I choose? I don't know what Cersei's powers are. Tell me what her powers are first. I don't really know jack shit about the Eternals except what they are. I don't know what they each can individually do. Didn't get what happened with the Wave Rider in the season finale of Legends Tomorrow. Another Wave Rider came out of the time continuum, blew up their Wave Rider, and then flew away. You know as much as I do, buddy. You know just as much as I do. When did I start the whining with Omni series? Well, I was doing... Actually, I think it was WandaVision. It was when I started doing weekend live streams to talk about WandaVision. Like, I would do, like, random game streams every now and then, but I didn't really do anything talking about whatever was going on. I think I started with that, and then I just was calling it, like, a hangout and chat live stream or something like that. I don't remember exactly what I was calling it. And then eventually, I just added wine into the mix to make it more fun for me. Or to loosen me up a little bit more. And then I can't remember when I actually changed the name of the live streams to Whining with Omni. I'll say I hope the police towers aren't in Spider-Man 2. Crime tracking and pre-crime analytics. That was some Orwellian stuff. Keep the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man app from Miles Morales. I can agree with that for sure. Yeah, there was a lot of weird side puzzly inserts into it that was a little odd, like that you mentioned. But yeah. You might not know who Jack Bauer is, but he's my favorite TV character from the show 24. I know the character, and I know he's from 24, but I've never watched the show. So, for sure. Cersei's powers are illusion and matter manipulation. Okay, so... I don't know, man. I'd probably go Shang-Chi, because it's just simple. Shoot rings, be immortal. Super strong, cool. I don't know. I don't know if I'm smart enough to use matter manipulation effectively. Another flaw was why couldn't the zombies leave Wakanda? The barrier is only supposed to keep intruders out. In the Star-Lord what if, T'Challa was able to just walk out. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good point, Philly. I didn't think about that. Is Jay Garrick supposed to come on Stargirl? Yes. John Wesley Shipp will be reprising his role, or will taking on that role. I don't think he's our Jay Garrick. I don't think he's a version of the character we've seen before, but John Wesley Shipp is going to be playing their Jay Garrick. And I think it's in episode 7, if I remember right. It's in one of the later episodes, the second half episode, so I can't remember when he's going to come out, because I know it's been confirmed which episode he's going to be in, but I might be getting the episode wrong. Let's see. Like turnings bus into pedals. Oh, okay. I don't know what Vexing's talking about there. Anyway, making multiple projections of herself. Yeah, I think I'd just go with the simpler Shang-Chi thing. Will we ever see the janitor from the last season of Stargirl again? Probably eventually, but he went off to go find his other members, right? I think that's what they said at the end of the season, like when he left the town, go to find the other former members of the Seven. They won't recast them. Constantine, casting a whole different thing. Oh, I'm missing a thing here. First off, if HBO Max does take the series, they will certainly recast the main role since they're not making Matt Ryan as Constantine. Second, HBO wants to do their own thing, mostly with the DCEU. What are we talking about? Nothing from the CW is going to transfer to HBO. It'll just be their home for streaming. Like, it's not, none of these shows are going to become HBO shows. I don't know what you guys are actually talking about at the moment. And I would prefer it to stay that way. Will I do reactions to Star Wars Visions? Yes. And did I get an editor? Not yet. Not yet. If not, maybe I can give a hand. Adobe Premiere. That's what I use. Hit me up and maybe we can talk. Easiest way is to hop in the Discord for sure. Superman list will stay the same. The show will stay the same. Continuity. Who would win between Neo and Shang-Chi with the 10 rings versus the Green Lantern? So like a 3-way fight? Green Lantern, man. Green Lantern would whoop them all. Green Lantern is insanely powerful. Third many bigger series like Sandman, the Vertigo series were offered to them, yet they didn't take them because they were uninterested in comics. HBO Max is basically WB film sub. Anyway, I think in What If Zombies Wakanda hadn't fallen. Giant horde of zombies were outside the barrier trying to get in. That's not true, Caleb. They are in the barrier. Like, you can see it from the angling, and there's Dora Milaje. There's a bunch of Dora Milaje that are already infected. Like, those are Wakandans at his feet. You can see it in their uniforms. There are Dora Milaje infected. There are other Wakandans infected at Thanos' feet. He just used the space tone to get into the barrier and brought the infection in with him. That's my guess. But yeah, no, they're one that. Otherwise, why would the Watcher say, "Well, this Earth is doomed"? Because of that moment. That reveal was what the Watcher was referring to. They thought Wakanda was their safe haven, and they would be able to go to Wakanda and reverse engineer a cure. But Wakanda had already fallen, so that universe came to an end, like the Watcher said. Or is going to come to an end. It's not really an interpretation thing either, and I'm not trying to be a douche or anything like that, but it's 100% inside the barrier. Sub GX. I really probably won't see The Mandalorian until later next year, but I could be wrong. Well, they only just started filming The Mandalorian. So it'll be sometime next year. I imagine it'll be next fall, like when it aired last time. I think we'll be getting some of the other Star Wars shows in between there, because obviously we've got Book of Boba Fett, we've got Obi-Wan. It's going to probably be coming out before that comes out. So yeah, it'll be either be in the summer or fall of next year, I would imagine. What do you think about Final Space? Final Space? Specify. Did I see season 6 of Lucifer yet? I haven't seen a single season or episode of Lucifer at all. Crashing. Would I ever do a book reading stream? I don't know if that's legal, technically. I've thought about it, but I don't know if that's something I could do. Maybe you could read your favorite comic or favorite manga. Could be an idea. You think Universal is making a huge mistake putting Halloween on Peacock? Yes. 100%. 100%. That's not going to get them jack shit on Peacock. Maybe it will, but I think it'll definitely be hurting the film. It's a horror movie. It's not a high budget. I more than think, especially after Shang-Chi and everything, with it just being next month, that they would definitely have benefited financially much better to just release it in theaters. I think they're talking about DCU Justice League Dark Show. Its main character is supposed to be John Constantine. Right. Gotcha. What do you think of season 2 of Stargirl so far? I'm enjoying it. It's a bit of a slow build and a slow burn, but it's starting to pick up, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they take it. And really looking forward to seeing Eclipso in full blast. And I'm excited to see John Wesley Shipp come back as yet another version of the Flash. So I'm enjoying the season so far. It feels like more. It just feels like a natural continuation of where we left the gang at the end of season 1. So it's really like a season 1.5, which in essence is generally what second seasons kind of feel like. But rather than being like a whole new thing, it feels like season 2 is just, and season 1 is just a continuation of what happened at the end of season 1. So I think it's difficult for some people to wrap their head around a little bit. Different than how some of the CW shows have handled things in the past, but I'm really liking it. What should I start watching on HBO Max? As far as like original Max shows, Harley Quinn. If you haven't watched Harley Quinn, watch Harley Quinn. Doom Patrol. For me, I've been playing the Lord of the Rings extended editions just in the background while I'm editing or playing games or something like that when I finally have some downtime. Those are on there. Anything DC is pretty much on there. There's a lot of fun stuff on there, man. The Watchmen series from HBO is really good if you haven't seen it. Chernobyl I've heard good things about, but I haven't seen it myself personally. Lots of good stuff, man. When will see the Young Avengers or Dark Avengers? Probably not for a few more films. Probably not until 2024, I would have to imagine. I feel like we're going to be building that up more. I think we might get more of a taste of it in Hawkeye, though, when that comes out this fall. Considering they are targeting him, and Yelena is in Hawkeye, so I feel like we might get a little bit more answers about what Valentina's up to in that. Carol's gonna have fun mowing down zombies. Yes, she will. She will. Assuming she doesn't somehow also get bitten by somebody. Me just complaining about the Forbes guy talking about how he doesn't love the series because CW. He would love it more on HBO Max. Officially takes the series. Aside from that, yeah, which is fucking stupid. That Forbes guy's an idiot. Aside from that, most anticipated games this year is Halo Infinite, Spider-Man 2, and Wolverine. Was Spider-Man 2 actually? Spider-Man 2 doesn't come out this year though, does it? I don't remember seeing like a release date. Not that one, dummy. Yeah, it's slated for release in 2023. That's what I thought. Okay. So yeah, it's definitely not coming out this year. Halo Infinite is definitely something I'm looking forward to this year. Halo, I think that's the only game I'm looking forward to that's coming out in the latter half of the year is Halo Infinite. I'm super excited for it. I will hit you up. So who do you think is going to be the sixth member of the Sinister Six? I'm going to bet it's going to be Hobgoblin or Mysterio are my guesses. Though Hobgoblin would be eerily similar to Green Goblin, so I don't know if they'll go that route. Or it could be Scorpion, since he was set up at the end of Far From Home. Or not Far From Home, Homecoming. P who? What? Final Space is on HBO Max. Just premiered their 3rd season. It was awesome to me. Such great visuals. I haven't seen it, and I haven't heard of it. Won't spoil anything in case I want to watch it. Yeah, I've never even heard of it, man. Might have to look into it. Same day streaming seems to be killing HBO Max right now. At least Disney managed to get off the boat before it sank. Honestly, I feel like Warner Brothers and HBO are more concerned about subs than they are theatrical tickets. I don't know, man, because they're not backing down out of their deal to do it throughout the year, except for Malignant. Well, no, that was put on both. That was a different case. Never mind. I got that mixed up. That story mixed up in my head. So I don't know. I mean, their movies are all doing great on HBO Max. It's just they're not really getting any other return other than subscriptions. So I don't know how beneficial that is for them. Do you think Wes Craven would be happy to see Scream 5 happen without him? I think if it was treated well without him, he would be fine. Because there's a lot of his concerns with the Friday the 13th, or no, sorry, not Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street sequels were that they just kind of degraded over time, and he was never really happy about it, which is what brought him back to do New Nightmare. So I think as long as they continue it in a very strong way and keep his idea intact, I think he'd be happy to see it continued. Do I know what today is, right? I do. I did a little moment of silence at the opening of the stream as well, man, and talked about my experiences with it. Let's see. Can't wait for KOTOR remake. Me either, man. Me either. I hope they don't let us down. I hope they do not let us down with it. Am I more excited for season 2 of Superman or season 3 of Doom Patrol? Superman. Easily Superman. Before becoming a YouTuber, what was my dream job as a kid? I had so many, man. When I was really young, I wanted to be a paleontologist. I wanted to be an animator. And then I just wanted to be an artist. And now I work with computers and do YouTube. It comes out in 2023. Yeah, everybody answering my question to the looking here. Wolverine, Spider-Man 2 will not be on PS4. It will be PS5 exclusive, and Spider-Man 2 will come out in 2023. And I'm so glad I finally have a PS5. So I'll be able to play them on their native consoles. Now, questions. Sony's talked about making more of their first-party stuff PC available. They also announced the Uncharted series is coming to PC. They also announced that KOTOR, while being a PS5 exclusive, is also being a day one PC release. So I'm wondering if we'll see those on PC also. If this is like an Xbox situation where Xbox exclusives are also PC. So I'm wondering if they'll do the same thing there. They weren't very clear on that. They definitely implied it was going to be console only. If it is, I'm not going to be butthurt or anything about it, but it's definitely going to make it harder for people to get access to them. Hopefully by 2023, the system will be more accessible and more available to people, which is insane how hard it still is to get it. And with all the shortages and with the microchips and stuff, it's insane. GTA 6 wasn't shown in the showcase, so not a lot of people were happy. Dude, we're not going to get a GTA 6. They just announced the port to the PS5 of GTA 5 was delayed. I don't think we're going to be getting a GTA 6 for a while. I think they're going to milk it thanks to the success of online as long as they can. What villain would like to see in the next Superman Lois? I want a real Bizarro. Massive, pale, cracked skin, backwards talking and everything. I'd be down for that. I'd love to see either Lobo or, well, obviously Lobo can't be the main villain, but I'd like to see maybe Brainiac. Red Dead 3 isn't going to happen. Why not? Why won't Red Dead 3 happen? Also, WB also paid filmmakers for HBO Max same-day release. Villeneuve is more optimistic about a Dune sequel because WB is already very happy with the reviews alone. Yeah, WB does not care as long... Like, they're not going to judge the success of any of their movies based on the box offices right now. They're more concerned with word of mouth, reviews, how much is this being pirated, and how many views do we get on our streaming platform. They've already greenlit a bunch of projects regardless of Suicide Squad's performance with James Gunn. They've already got a bunch of stuff coming from down the pipeline with him. So they aren't concerned at all about the theatrical performances of any of their films this year, and they're not holding it against anybody. So that's at least a good thing. Like an IT person or computers as a hobby. No, while I was going for my art degree, I was supporting myself by being tech support for a local internet company. Not a local, they're actually like a big name on the East Coast at least. But like, I expanded from that, started working for universities as an IT, and then I started now at my new job working on troubleshooting software. So it's a bunch of interesting progressions. So yeah, the farthest away from painting and sketching. Honestly, I got my degree. I got my bachelor's in fine art, and it's collecting dust over on the shelf over there. Lovecraft Country is great too. I've heard a lot of mixed things about Lovecraft Country. I heard a lot of love for it initially, and then I heard a lot of animosity about it, like later into the seasons. Who would win between Quicksilver from Avengers 2, Flash from the DCEU, Wally West from The Flash, Makari from the Eternals, Quicksilver from the X-Men universe if they all raced? Well, obviously, Quicksilver from Avengers 2 is the slowest out of everybody you mentioned. See, like, Wally West and The Flash, I would probably say, because Wally West is the fastest Flash in the comics, but the show and their power levels is always so inconsistent. And I would probably go with the Flash from the DCEU. We haven't seen Wally time travel yet. So I'd probably go with the Flash from the DCEU. Because also the Quicksilver is also scaled pretty insanely with how fast he is from the X-Men universe. But he also has not time travel to reverse time or anything like that. So I would have to say Flash from the DCEU is probably the fastest. The I Am Groot show is going to be fun, especially since it's confirmed as canon to the MCU. I'm not aware of this show. There's an I Am Groot show? Let's just say Rockstar hasn't announced a third one. Fair enough. The streamer said, if you have a PlayStation and a PC, you have everything you need. And I agree, if you have a PC, you have an Xbox. True. Having a gaming PC, like you're in the win, man. Especially with Xbox, because you don't need, like, I'm never gonna buy another Xbox, especially considering all of their first-party game exclusives are day one PC releases now. Halo Infinite, hey, guess what? Launch day, it's on PC. I played the beta already on PC. I don't need an Xbox anymore. So you're right. I just need, to be fair, I just need a Switch, a PlayStation, and a PC. Nintendo will die on the hill of never letting their stuff ever be ported to another system. And I still play a lot of their titles. PlayStation also still has a lot of stronghold on their exclusives, but they usually keep a console exclusive for a certain amount of time, and then we've been seeing a lot of their exclusives getting ported to PC. But I think we're going to start seeing a similar trend of PlayStation releasing their exclusives on console and PC simultaneously moving forward. Slowly but surely, I think we'll go in that direction. For sure. My Walmart doesn't have a PS5. It's sad. Most places won't carry a PS5 at the location. That's something that I don't think has changed. I think you can still only buy them online, even at Walmart. I do not think they even plan to have them in stores. It's crazy. It's crazy how restrictive things have been with a lot of these games, and there's a lot of these great games coming out that people can't play because they can't get their hands on this stuff because people with these bots, with these scalping algorithms are just stealing this shit out from everybody and hiking up the prices. It's just ridiculous. If your computer breaks and for whatever reason you need to buy a new graphics card, you're pretty much fucking screwed. You're not going to get anything new unless you want to pay double the MSRP for it. The easiest way to get a PS5, and it's how I did, is to go directly through PlayStation. Every now and then, PlayStation Store online will have a restock. The caveat is you can only get one per household, and you have to already have a PlayStation Plus account. But that's the easiest way to get one. The first time I tried, the first time they had a restock, I was able to get in and get one. I'm fine with that. More people were able to play the games, the better. Exactly. Everyone thinks the Rockstar Games is milking GTA 5 Online. Is that true? I think so. I do too. I think it's become the new Skyrim. I do. And the GTA 5 Online streams on Twitch are still super popular, man. They should milk Red Dead. Well, Red Dead Online died super quick. Like, it's not nearly as successful as GTA. Red Dead just did not have the legs that they needed it to. They're still making shit tons of money off of GTA 5. Really gonna miss the Maze Runner movies. I've never actually seen any of them, to be honest. Do you think that Latinos deserve more representation? Because I feel like we've been given nothing. That's why I'm excited for Ajax and American Chavez. Yeah, for sure. I don't think there's enough, especially on the superhero front. I don't think there's a whole lot of representation. Like, I would love to see like Jessica Cruz come into DC. I think that's one of the reasons I'm really excited to see that they're doing the Jaime Reyes version of Blue Beetle and not Ted Kord or Dan Grant, whatever Dan Garrett, that was his name. And I'm glad that we're going that route. And honestly, like, when I'm trying to think of people, there's not very many that come to mind. Now, you could be kind of like double dipping with Miles Morales, considering he is Puerto Rican and African American. So it's kind of like a double dip there. But yeah, I don't know, man. Plus, I think Cobra Kai, though, has been doing a lot of great stuff for that. Like Miguel, which also parallels with the Blue Beetle story, because Miguel, Xolo Maridueña got cast from Cobra Kai, and now he's going to be Blue Beetle. So I'm really happy for that kid. I really like. He also streams on Twitch and has a lot of fun streams. But yeah, I do agree with you there. Sasha Calle playing Supergirl in the Flash film. It's another step forward. So I'm hoping that maybe around the corner we'll be seeing more of that. I just hope there's going to be more of that in general, because I still want to see Jon Stewart in live action. I still want to see. I'm glad we're finally getting Static Shock, because I grew up with that. I'm glad that we're getting a lot of that. But yeah, it's not exclusive to one people's. Like, we definitely need more Indian representation out there, Asian representation in general, which is one of the things I'm glad Shang-Chi got out there, because I love Asian cinema, and it did a lot of like paid a lot of homages to that. So I definitely feel like the Latin community kind of gets segmented towards supernatural stuff, because I feel like a lot of that, like the last thing I gotta say, it was sad when the last thing that I felt like was very Latino that I saw in theaters personally was Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. That's sad. And I can't think of anything outside of that comes to mind. I didn't see La Llorona, so I haven't seen that, so I can't say that. And so I don't know, man. We'll see. Coco, that's a good one. Forgot about Coco. Coco was beautiful, man. I think Pixar is doing a really good job at trying to diversify their media. I think they're doing a really good job about it. Watched some of the earlier parts, came back to the live and say Gotham Knights is not live service and there is a showcase scheduled for DC fandom. Well, I hope not. But it's multiplayer, it's based on skins, leveling, and grinding, so it just has that framework. It's online, so it's got all of the things that scream live service to me. So we'll see. They're on PC, but you need Game Pass. Xbox is leaning. No, you don't need Game Pass. You don't need Game Pass for their stuff. You can get it on Steam. I've got Halo Infinite on Steam. No, I don't have the game yet. I've got the downloads for it. It's going to be on Steam whenever the game comes out. Game Pass just lets you play any Xbox title from the past. All of their exclusives moving forward are also dual released for PC. You can get them on Steam. You can get them directly from the Microsoft Store. You don't need Game Pass to do that. You just need Game Pass to play their older exclusives. Anything new is day one PC from the get-go, and you don't have to buy it from Xbox. Are there any updates on the new Transformers movie? Not yet. The last thing I heard was that Ron Perlman's going to be playing Optimus Primal, which excites me. I grew up with my Transformers was the Beast Wars. Like, I didn't grow up with the Cars version of the show. I wasn't really into vehicles and cars like when I was a kid. I loved dinosaurs. I was very into animals and stuff like that. So like when Beast Wars came out, man, that shit, I ate it up. So I'm really excited for that. So yeah, PS5s are in stores, but you have to order it online and then pick it up from the store. Exactly. But the ordering it online is the hard part, because you still have to beat the scalpers to get that. But you're not going to see them behind the glass case in a store is what I meant. I've been thinking I think I watched the No Way Home trailer like 666 times. Do you think there's something wrong with me? Not at all, man. Go for it. I might add another watch to that though to change that number. I'm personally waiting for the PS5 Spider-Man 3 bundle. I hope Spider-Man PS5 is all black. The PS4 Pro was all red. That'd be cool. That would definitely be cool. But it's Spider-Man 2, not 3. I was like, I'm gonna correct you, but then there you go. All right, hear me out. About Robbie from Cobra Kai could finally pull off Harry Osborn in the MCU. Maybe I could see that. It's really funny how people thought the world would end in 2012. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I was still really paranoid about that. Funny story. I was actually more concerned about the world ending on June 6th, 2006. I don't know why. I was legitimately having a panic attack most of that day, worrying about that day. Equally with 2012, I was just as a little nervous. I don't care anymore. Peter Parker, or he could be Peter Parker. Talk about Robbie from Cobra Kai again, or he could be Peter Parker. Made me kind of think of him when I watched him. He's all that. Cool, nice. Did I know that Andrew Garfield was caught in 4K? Yeah, I've seen that floating around for sure. I'm definitely pre-ordering Forspoken and God of War 4. Isn't it God of War 5 technically? But yeah, I'm definitely going to be pre-ordering God of War. There's a couple of other trailers, obviously, for smaller or not franchise brand games that have had trailers from the Sony showcase that I haven't got a chance to check out yet. So, what do you think of Forspoken? Do you recommend checking that out? Did you know that Star Wars fighting game from back in the day, Masters of Terrakasi? Yes. Love a new version of that if you like fighting games. I think that'd be pretty cool. I do remember that game. I never got a chance to play it myself, though. Nice that you're so open to diversity. The Black Starfire haters out there are forced on Twitter was pissing me off. Yeah, it's whatever, man. I mean, she's orange in the comics. I get people like comic book accuracy, but it is what it is. And I gotta say, like, a lot of the times, like, when you think of like comic book properties, I think the easiest way to get around that type of thought is that it's the multiverse, man. All these multiverses exist. There's going to be a different version of the character in all kinds of different iterations. Writers are always going to change characters here and there. This is just a different version. If you're not happy with it, your version's still out there, and it exists in the multiverse. If you're not happy with it, just don't let it. It's not an attack on you. It's not an attack on your childhood. It's just somebody else's interpretation. Roll with it. That's all I feel about it. Rat Trap deserved an Emmy. My favorite was always Dinobot and Cheetor. What about you guys? Rat Trap was always hilarious, though. When we would see a trailer for Jurassic World Dominion. I know in IMAX, people got to see a little bit of a teaser for the film. But I don't think the public has gotten to see anything yet. So, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm really excited to see all the OG members back for it, but we'll see. Since I know you know about computers, I'm just, what does all the ones and zeros mean? Like, I mean, I can't read binary. I'm not that deep into it, but it's all just coding. It just translates. The sequence translates into information that the CPU reads, and it just bounces it back. It tells it to do different things. So that's about as much as deep as I can get into it yet. I'm not like deep into that side of things, into coding and grafting and binary, though. That's not really my spectrum. Mine's more like networking and hardware. So what if is only 9 episodes a season? It was supposed to be 10, but the last episode wasn't done because of COVID, I think. Correct. Which one of the episodes already seen will be in the MCU? I think we'll see Captain Carter, and I think we'll see Evil Doctor Strange again. I think those for sure. I don't know why, but I think The Matrix might blow up like the first movie. Might blow up like the first movie did. I hope so. I'm already I've got my blood pumping for that film, man. I love the Matrix universe. I love the first 3 films. Love them or hate them, I still do love the sequels. I'm super excited to see what they do with it. Like, I was like chewing up that trailer and like dissecting it and trying to figure out what's going on, how's this gonna play, what's the end goal here. I'm super excited for that movie. I hope it does. And I think Koi Jundru over on the Real Rejects live stream put up a good point that today headiness isn't really appreciated as much as it used to be, at least with general audiences. So I don't know how well something like this will be accepted today. I hope it does, but I don't know. Have I tried bubble tea? I have. I'm not a fan. I'm weird with textures, so like I don't get the craze with it myself personally. Forspoken looks amazing. You should check it out. Oh, thank you, Scott, for that super chat, my dude. Oh man, I'm excited to see Barry team up with Mia. I hope we get a moment with them reflecting on Oliver. Also excited for Alex, Jefferson, and Frost. Me too, man. I'd really love some more Oliver love. I love that we got a call out for it in Superman and Lois from Diggle. It's like, Oliver would have been on board for this, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Oliver is still my favorite Arrowverse character. Easy. And he is still missed. And I'll mention this, I think we talked about it very lightly last week. Stephen Amell said if one of the streaming services or if HBO Max approached him to do like an Arrow miniseries, he would be willing to return for that. So it'd be pretty interesting. I miss the dude, man. I really do. Since Oliver left. Am I gonna watch Aquaman 2? Duh. Hell yeah. Andrew Garfield, I'm not in Werewolf No Way Home. What would you rate Spider-Man 3? The movie? Like with Topher Grace's Venom? Like, as a film, I would probably give it like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I don't hate the movie. I think a lot of what people hate about the movie the most is obviously the cringy Tobey Maguire emo stuff, and that Venom wasn't really the Venom they wanted. Aside from that, it's not great. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it's god awful. I saw it 3 times in theaters, man. When it came out, I was eating it up. But I think that goes to show the long-term sensibilities of the comic book movie and evolution of it over time. At the time, though, yes, I wasn't all that happy with that Venom. I really dug the rest of the movie at the time. And now, when I go back and watch it, like, it's more of a campy kind of fun. So I'd probably give it like a 6. Hope everyone caught the 4K Samsung HD dig. What is it? I think I'm supposed to learn binary in automotive class, so I'm hyped. Hell yeah, man. Jurassic World Dominion releases in June, so I think we'll get our first look probably during the Super Bowl. That's probably a good chance. I don't think the public needs to see a trailer yet for that movie, because if it just goes to show that, like, the farther out you show a trailer, the longer you drag out your hype. The longer you have for your hype for a film to burn out. So I think they definitely need to hold off on that. I think we need to get the public momentum a little bit closer to when the movie comes out. I really hope we get some animatrix stuff in it. I'm sure we will. I mean, it's all canon. Lana Wachowski had involvement in all of the games. And all of the games are canon, even Matrix Online. So I'm sure there's going to be some hints, Easter eggs, and ties to that. And I think we've already seen one of them in the trailer, personally. Can't wait for Netflix's Tundum live event. Don't know what that is. How about bubble tea without the bubbles? You don't have to add the bubbles. You can just tell them regular milk tea without bubbles. Well, shit, nobody told me that when I went to one of these places. Oh, Yori, thank you for that. Hey, Omni, sorry I'm late. I just got back from seeing Shang-Chi, and it was phenomenal. Any idea where these characters might show up next? As far as where they might show up next, maybe Doctor Strange. Doubt it, given filming is starting to wrap on it. But where they might show up next, honestly, I don't know. I do think that the film directly connects to Multiverse of Madness. They could be in it. I don't know. Who knows? They're very secretive about certain things. But the Shang-Chi movie did directly connect to Strange's world. So I do think that there's something that's going to be happening there. But I don't know. I really don't know the next time we will actually see Shang-Chi, Katie, Xialing. I don't know when we'll see them again. Hopefully soon. Maybe the 10 Rings, we'll see like them in like the Hawkeye series. We'll see them as like this organization in some of the shows. Maybe in the Captain America film, Captain America 4 that's coming out. I don't know. That's the best I can guess is for that. And thank you for that super chat. felt like Topher was an okay Eddie to me. I think he played a decent, jealous rival. I do. He just doesn't. He wasn't the meathead Eddie Brock that we know and love that became Venom. I think the biggest complaint was like obviously the Venom was just kind of scrawny and wrinkly and just this meek little incel kid. I think that was the biggest complaint about it. I love Topher Grace, man. I've been a fan of him since that 70s show. I love that show. Eric Foreman is my spirit animal when it comes to TV shows, man. So like, I don't know. I also have a sweet spot for him, Topher Grace. So that's one of the other reasons that it didn't bother me all that much. Spider-Man 3 has good action sequences. Yes, it does. I do think so as well. Did I read the Spider-Man 9/11 comic? No, I don't read Marvel comics in general. The only one I've read is the Spider-Man issues of Civil War. That's it as far as Marvel comics go. You know what's going on with that live-action Cowboy Bebop movie? It's a show. Is my understanding is that it's a show. Comes out in November, and I don't really know what else about it other than the cast and the photos they've released, which honestly look kind of good. I'm looking forward to it, though Netflix has not had a great track record with adapting anime into live action. That Death Note movie was straight garbage. What are my two favorite villains of the Sinister Six characters? Green Goblin and Doc Ock. Out of the Sinister Six that we know so far, from No Way Home, or do you mean like from the comics? The Lizard is my favorite Spider-Man villain in the comics. Superman and Lois will be on HBO Max next week. Will it become popular there? Hope so. I hope so. What's up, Barry? Is it a safe bet that Cable is Strange and Spidey trailer is Evil Strange? I think it is. I wholly think that his robes are a different color than when we saw them earlier. I know I'm not colorblind, so that's why I'm like, they don't look like the same shade. That looks like black. It doesn't look like dark blue to me. It could also just be my version or the calibration of my screen. Could be a little off, but yeah, I definitely think there are two Stranges that we saw in that trailer, whether we know it or not. Shang-Chi and Katie are Avengers now, though, right? Pretty much. They are officially part of the team now, as Wong was like, welcome to the group. And they got to have their first little screen miss. So I think it's fair to say that they're both technically Avengers now. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the welcome to the circus is just another way of saying welcome to the team. Katie Cassidy is in Canada. Hope this means that she might be in Armageddon. Oh, that would be cool. I hope so. I feel like she's been ignored for too long. We need some Laurel in there, man. What's up, Jean-Luc TV? How you doing, buddy? I think Shang-Chi will be in the Eternals next. Well, Shang-Chi has to take place after the Eternals, timeline-wise. So if Shang-Chi was in it, he would still be, parking cars. Timeline-wise, the Eternals is 7 days after the Hulk snapping reality back. So, Shang-Chi is, from what I've assumed, is like, will be coming out like, months after the actual snap and the return. I can't remember the exact timeline, though. After seeing What If Episode 4, it makes complete sense why Doctor Strange would perform that spell in No Way Home. He thought he could bring Christine back, so of course he thinks he could pull off the spell. And I think he could pull off the spell if Peter wasn't changing the intentions of the spell while he's casting it. Peter's also entered the spell circle and is influencing the spell himself. I don't think it's just Strange that messes up the spell. I think had Peter had his resolve like concrete at the start of the spell, it would have been fine. I think Peter's the one that fucked up the spell. That 70s show was my favorite. Love Big Red, man. Me too, buddy. Me too. Kurtwood Smith, great dude. Also, guest starred in The X-Files. Or am I dropping reactions for both Batwoman Season 3 and Legends Season 7, or just Legends Season 7? Right now, both of those are up in the air. I still don't know if I want to cover either moving forward. Though it is a little bit easier for me since both of the shows are no longer on Sundays and they are going to be on Wednesdays. If I have an editor to help me by that point, I might not drop either. But right now, if it's just me, I will probably be not covering Season 3 or Season 7 of those shows right now. Maybe, would I like a Shang-Chi manga or anime? Hell yeah, man. I thought the movie itself had a lot of anime inspiration in it as well. Maybe animation done by Studio Pierrot. Maybe. What do I think of Jamie Foxx's Electro? Well, in Amazing Spider-Man 2, did not like him at all. At all. None of it. Nothing against Jamie Foxx, because I love Jamie Foxx, but I did not like the writing, I did not like the script, and I did not actually like the character that they portrayed in it. What's up, Mandy? How am I doing? I'm doing good. Late to the lives? It's all right. It's late where you are in general right now, so don't worry about it. Really enjoyed watching your watch along to Kate on Patreon. Keep up the great work. I'm glad you liked it. I really enjoyed that film for you guys. I recorded my review of the film. I have yet to actually upload it yet, so that's a little bit of a preview. I enjoyed it. I'd say it's just to give you guys a general thought on Kate. I think it was better than your average assassin film. The plot and the story itself is very straightforward, predictable. It doesn't really do anything to stand out. The action's great. Mary Elizabeth is great. Woody Harrelson is great. Miku Martino is great. And it's definitely better than Gunpowder Milkshake, in my opinion. Let's see. The only win Vegeta takes is how many L's he's taken. Yeah, he's definitely taken the most L's out of the... he hasn't... I think Krillin might have the most L's, but definitely. Between Goku and Vegeta, Vegeta definitely has the most L's. I didn't think of that. In most supernatural movies, shows rule. You can't break the circle. A la Peter entering the circle, great point. Yeah, that's what I don't think I said that in my reaction in the trailer at one point, though I don't think I said it clearly enough. Because usually the spell circle is the containment of where it's happening. Obviously, he's got that chalice that he's putting all these ingredients into, where he's got the memory and the spell and all that stuff. And I just don't understand why a memory spell, because all he is doing, he's not changing time, he's not reversing time, he's not erasing a moment from history, he's removing a memory from the collective, like, Earth. Like, he's just memory manipulating is all he's doing. Why does that break the universe? It shouldn't, right? It would be the equivalent of if the Men in Black just showed up and just flashy thinged the entire world. Like, it's not, he's not altering reality. He's just removing a memory from people. No. Like, it doesn't seem like it should be that damaging. That's why I think there's something else that breaks his spell. And part of me also thinks that Wong isn't talking about the spell he performs for Peter in that moment. But we'll see. Where do you guys think Wong's going? You think he's going on a vacation to go fight in that tournament? When he leaves in that? He's in Macau whenever he leaves there. Who do you think the sixth villain of Spider-Man is going to be? I think it's going to be Rhino Kraven, because Kraven's getting his own movie. Rhino is amazing. Could be Rhino, since he's already been established. But I think it might be Hobgoblin, Mysterio, or maybe Scorpion. Because we've seen Scorpion too. He's also been established in this universe, but we haven't seen him since Homecoming. Who do you think he was too cheesy? I do think he was too cheesy. I think he was too cheesy. I think he was too cliche, and I thought he was way too annoying. I don't like that they made Blackfire a superhero. What the hell? What do you mean? She's still more of an anti-hero, and I still think that she's going to be the villain of the season. The final villain of the season, personally, but we'll see. All opinions aside about Amazing Spider-Man's Electro, I kind of low-key felt bad for the dude. I mean, I'm sure it's easy to feel bad for the guy, but he was also disillusioned in a lot of ways, so it's kind of hard because it was very tropey in a lot of ways. I'm going to see Malignant tonight. Nice. You can check out my review after. See where we line up. Are you going to the theater or are you going to watch it on HBO? What do you think about Venom 2 being 2A or PG-13 and being moved up? Personally, I think super happy it is. I don't have a problem with it being moved up. I am a little concerned about it being PG-13 considering Carnage is part of the story. I feel like if Carnage is involved, you kind of got to bump the rating up a little bit more unless they just really skirt a lot of the violence. Rumor right now is that the movie is only going to be 90 minutes. And I've seen some people be concerned about that. And I don't think 90-minute films are inherently bad. I think that just means that we can expect not a lot of fluff, probably a lot of action, and it's going to be very focused. It's going to be really just about these two. So I expect it to not have any padding and just kind of be straight to the point. And it's probably already, obviously, probably a lot of budgetary reasons as well, considering that a lot of this movie is going to be CGI. So the longer the film, the more expensive the film. So it makes sense to me. So I hope they get into that. I hope they do. Hey, hon, getting in here with the little cat box. What I think about the animated Justice movie. I'm excited to check it out. I didn't post my reaction to it because the trailer they released was stupid. I'm sorry. Like the trailer they released was it was everything we already know. It was just the setup to the story of Injustice. Most of us are already familiar with it. I am. I just played the game a few months ago. So like I was like when I was watching the trailer, I was like, that was all right. So I had a recording for it, but I figured just because I got all the games and stuff from yesterday that I wanted to put out that I just didn't even bother posting that one. I'm still looking forward to the movie. Nothing against the movie. I just didn't think the trailer was that great. I'm looking forward to it though. I wish they went with a grittier art style though. That is one comment that I have for it. What's up, Symbiotic? I'm doing all right. How about you, buddy? Hawkeye trailer next week. I'm gonna look. Is it next week for sure? I'd be down. I'm down for it. I mean, I'm not hyped to see the Hawkeye show. I will be watching it. I will be reacting to it, but I'm not like foaming at the mouth for the show, man. But I'm still going to watch it. Would you say that Endgame Thanos is pure villain while Infinity War Thanos is anti-villain? I think Endgame Thanos was anti-villain until he just was fed up with their shit. He definitely transitioned from being anti-villain to pure villain after that. He was just like, all right, fuck you guys. What's up, SSF? I'm doing all right, buddy. Shang-Chi story arcs. Chapter. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, you're talking about the adapting it to a manga again. I think Wong is just getting out of the cold. Maybe Wong was using up his vacation days. I wonder what their accrual rate is as a guardian of a Camartage and the ley lines. Is there a difference between a single fan, double fan GPU's performance? Yeah. I mean, it just depends on how much heat it's dissipating. You can have a really strong, really good single fan. Chances are it's going to be pretty loud at the rate it's going to need to dissipate the heat off of your GPU. More fans, you can get more heat dissipation at a quieter rate. Either way, with fans, other than liquid cooling, you're always going to get some sound once the GPU starts really heating up. And I use a fan card. It doesn't really bother me. I've got 3 fans on my card. It's perfectly fine. It never really gets too loud. I mean, you only got to worry about noise if you're streaming and worried about background noise and getting into your mic and stuff. And I've got a 2080 Ti, and I've never really had it like struggling to play any of the games I've been streaming, so it's not too problem. But yeah, I just spilled wine on my hand. So yeah, fair enough. Can major dust trap affect game performance? I mean, the more dust you have in your system, the more you dust have in your filters, the more it's going to heat things up because it's blocking airflow. So yeah, it's definitely going to cause problems. Because yeah, if you got a lot of dust in your PC, it's definitely going to cause some heating issues. Maybe not significantly, but it definitely can impact things if you start getting into anything intensive. Kind of skipped ahead in the chat there. Theater. Did I like the film? It was a movie. It was interesting. I don't want to sway your opinion. But I personally probably would have enjoyed it more at home. Deadpool 1 was around 90 minutes, right? Yeah. Deadpool 1 was fairly short. Do you think Superboy and Blackfire will have some sort of romantic relationship in this season? They're definitely playing around with it. They are flirting hard, and Blackfire wants to jump his bones so bad. I think Stargirl will finally cross over with the Arrowverse in 2022. Probably. I don't think they'll do it this season. I think it might be next season. The animation in the Injustice looks cheap compared to the other DC AU movies. I think it looks just like the other ones. It's just too bright, simple, and colorful for me, given the material. And I don't necessarily know why they decided to go with that. Maybe because it's cheaper. It could be cheaper because obviously there's less detailing in the animations. But yeah, I'm curious to see the final product though before I get too hard on it. I've watched the official Us. What? The official Us. If you haven't, I recommend the first season. Is not that good, but it is funny. Steve Carell, John Krasinski. Official Us? You mean Office? Let me know if you meant Office. I was only seeing like 3 episodes of The Office ever, and it was just while I was in a hotel. So I have never really dove into the show head first, if that's what you're talking about. I just want all the Back to the Future films this week, or I assumed you just watched all the Back to the Future films this week. Really wish there was a 4th film. I love that franchise, man. I really do. I think it's a little too, I don't know if they should, that's something I don't think they should reboot. I think they should just leave it alone. But I love that series, man. Marty and Doc Brown, love that shit, man. Love this movie. It's got a poster of it right up here. You can't really see it though, but I got a Back to the Future 1 poster right here on my wall. Why is Stargirl not popular like Flash, Superman, Lois? Is it too campy for modern audiences? I think it might be the age range because it's about a bunch of teenagers. I mean, while it was on DC Universe, it was doing really well. It had a really strong word of mouth. It had a lot of great critical reception. I think most people were praising the shit out of season 1. Of course, you've got the stigma that being on the CW is going to carry you with it now. There's people that are judging the show like, oh, I just got on CW already, even though the show is exactly the same as it was in season 1, or just judging it now and having some weird biases merely because it's on the CW, even though nothing's changed yet. I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's got more eyes on it now than it does. I mean, it's still, as far as my videos go, like, it sounds like it's more popular than some of the other DC shows. It's just different. It's the Flash and Superman Lois. Superman Lois, it's Superman for one. That's a character a lot of people know. People don't really know Stargirl. Like, the general populace doesn't know Stargirl or any of the JSA for that matter. Outside of the Flash and maybe Green Lantern. But not specifically that Green Lantern. So it's a harder sell on your general audiences. Superman and the Flash are household names, so like people are going to gravitate to that more. And plus, the word of mouth of Superman and Lois has been like unlike anything else we've ever seen. So it's just not going to live up to those standards. I haven't checked the ratings for Stargirl season 2. I'm curious how it lives up compared to the non-Flash, non-Superman and Lois shows. Like, where is it ranked with those? I have not looked. I'm curious. Favorite DCAU movie? My personal favorite was Under the Red Hood. Me too. Under the Red Hood is my favorite DCAU film for sure. Easy. Next up, I would probably put would be Flashpoint Paradox. I'll say Icicle from Stargirl is an anti-villain like Thanos. Yes, because everything he was doing was for a greater good. Just going about it a different way. Was he more psychotic than Thanos? Yes. He was a little more screws loose than Thanos, though. Does Abomination go good in the comics? I don't know. I don't know. Like I've said many times, I'm not as familiar or intimate with the Marvel Universe side of things in the comics, so I don't really know. I don't know much about Abomination aside from his look and style. So I'm sorry about that. I read the Inventor will be the main villain of Miss Marvel. Don't know who the fuck that is. So no idea. I haven't heard anything about the Miss Marvel other than her suit, the castings. That's all I know so far. How'd you feel Scarecrow controls Blackfire with his drugs, and that's how she becomes a villain? I wouldn't like that. I don't think that would play very well either. I think this might all in the end be like a long con for her, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to set her at odds with the team, and it seems like she doesn't even have powers, and it's not like she has the fire or the black fire in general. Why is she even called Blackfire if she doesn't have the fire in this universe? I don't understand that bit. So I'm a little confused at how she's going to play into the rest of the season, though. I wouldn't think Thanos is an anti-villain. He's just straight up villain. I don't think he's a straight up villain. I think he's he has pure motivations. Like, he's trying to save the universe, and he's got a decent idea to do it, but he also, part of that plan, it gives him the ability to stave it off. So he's doing things for the greater good of things, and I don't think that makes him a clear-cut villain, but it definitely puts him at odds with the morality of our heroes. How would you feel if they made a Back to the Future 4 with Doc Ock and Marty today? I'd love it, but it's probably way too late, considering Michael J. Fox's condition and just how up in time Christopher Lloyd's getting. I've seen them reprise the roles for some sketches here and there for some fun little like things off and on, but like I don't think they'd be able to do a full film. Sadly, you'd have to recast to do a 4, and I think it's just too late for that. It's pretty much at this point reboot or nothing, and I don't think the people that actually own the rights to the movie have any intention to reboot the franchise. Imagine Iron Fist series directed by the Shang-Chi director. I think it would be pretty solid, man. Destin did a really good job, man. He confirmed Jay Garrick's appearance in episode 9 is officially connecting Stargirl to the other shows. I don't think they did confirm that, though. All they confirmed was he was playing their universe's Jay Garrick, the Flash of their universe. The only connection is the same actor. And we've seen the same actor play the same character on different Earths, too. I don't think that necessarily connects it to those universes. But we'll see. Maybe this Jay Garrick is able to travel between the universes. Don't know. The Jay Garrick we know is also in Earth Prime now. So I'm confused about where they're going with all of that. Connor has all that biochemistry knowledge. Blackfire probably wants to manipulate him into unlocking her powers, and then she'll attack everyone. Ooh, that's a good thought, Ragu. That's a good thought. That'd be a good twist. That'd be a good twist. Flashpoint, the Dark Knight animated movies were amazing too. I've said this before. I'm not a fan of The Dark Knight Returns. I don't really like any of Frank Miller's Batmans. Save for Year One. I don't mind Year One, but I do not like his All-Star Batman, and I honestly, I don't get the obsession with the Dark Knight Returns character, that storyline. It's okay, but it's I think it's overhyped as hell. Batwoman season 3 will be the first season of Batwoman I ever watched because of the fact that they cast Poison Ivy. I thought we might get a new Poison Ivy. We were actually going to get Poison Ivy herself in the next season, and other classic Batman villains. So, yeah, once I heard that, I kind of like raised an eyebrow and kind of thought about checking out the show again. I mean, I'm going to still be watching Legends and Batwoman on my own time. I just wasn't planning on reacting to season 3 and season 7. But we'll see. It all comes down to if I can get help making these videos. AMD versus Intel processors. I personally ride Intel. It's more expensive, but they're faster. General, you can get more cores with AMD for cheaper. But usually their clock speeds are a little bit lower. It just really comes down to what are you wanting to do with your PC. But for me, I'm usually NVIDIA and Intel, which is kind of the industry's, I wouldn't say standards, but the high end on a lot of these things right now. But it is, I don't know. It's all preference, man. All preference and what you want to do. Eclipso is definitely pure evil. 100% for sure. Too much boring filler on Supergirl ever since it returned. Bring back Lex Luthor, for fuck's sake. Yeah, it does feel like we finally got Nixley back, right? It's been a couple episodes since the show's come back, and it has been mostly filler. But we finally got Nixley back in the game. So we'll see if we're back on track for the main plot. So we'll see how it goes from here onward. I've still been enjoying it, but it's mostly, again, the character interactions more so than the actual conflicts of the episodes. Research up his origins. When do you think we'll get Eclipso and Stargirl? Not sure. Probably a couple more episodes, but not long from now. I mean, we know what he officially looks like, his true form. It was revealed. There's a poster for it, so I can't imagine it's going to be too far off. I think we'll see Justice League members in the Flash movie. I don't think we'll see all of them. I think we'll see a few. What do you think of the secret about Eclipso, Pat, and Barbara is keeping from Courtney and the others is? I don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea. He had to have done something really messed up for them to want to keep that much from them. So I really don't know. I really have no clue what it could have been. Do I learn about electrical currents when I was studying computer hardware? Not really. I haven't formally studied anything. All of my experience with computers has been hands-on and work experience. So I don't have like the deep nitty-gritty of a lot of things. I've learned on the job about a bunch of stuff, and that's not necessarily something I've gone too deep into either. You think the Shade is a good guy? No. I think he is just morally gray. I think he is just whatever benefits him, whatever doesn't destroy his world. I think he's just out for his own benefit. And Eclipso being out in the world and just unhandled, unsupervised is a threat to him. I don't think he's evil. I don't think he's good. I think he's just passive. I think he's out for his own goals, his own ambitions. And like he said, I believe him when he said he doesn't hurt anybody that doesn't deserve it. So I believe him. Am I going to react to Star Wars Visions? I am. It's going to be hard since they all drop on the same day. But yeah, I will be covering Star Wars Visions. If the secret was Eclipso killed Starman's brother or son, maybe. Could be. I mean, we already know he killed Dr. Midnight's son, or daughter, sorry. So I don't know what else would be worse than something like that, killing a 10-year-old. I'm glad they're going to release all the episodes at once for Star Wars Vision. Should have done that for What If. I don't agree with the What If thing. I think with Star Wars Visions, it makes sense because they're just one-offs. They're not connected. They're not part of a narrative. I agree with the release pattern for What If. Star Wars Visions, I'm glad they're all doing it. They're all individual short films. They're not connected. So, like, makes sense to me for them to do that. This is going to be really hard to cover 9 of those all in the span of a day. I'm going to try my best to get them out as fast as I can to you guys. We still don't really know how long each individual short story will be because they're short films. So that, to me, sounds like they could be anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes of length. They've never clarified any of the run times for any of these yet. Oh man, what if Armageddon sets up the Arrowverse Legion of Doom for next? I mean, we already had a Legion of Doom. Legion of Doom was in season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow. Maybe a new Legion of Doom. That would be interesting, but I would like to see a new Legion of Doom or something like that. Do you think Trinity is the one now? No. Makes it seem like she is exactly like Neo now. I don't think she is the one. I think that I don't even know that Trinity is actually Trinity. But because when she does that yell thing in that scene where she's like freaking out and like you see like all these like other bodies come out of her scream, each one of those is a different person. Like, it's not Trinity. Those other images are not her. So I don't know what that means. I don't think she's exactly like Neo. I think Neo is still going to be Neo. Obviously, the one is still going to be the one. But I think that this is going to play around with identity. I think it's going to play around with choice, reality, and perception. So obviously, that's been a core concept of all the films. But I don't know that is Trinity for sure. That Morpheus that's in the trailer, which is confirmed to be Morpheus, I don't think it's actually Morpheus. I think it is a program. I think it's a human-made program that's in there, personally, but we'll see. 2023 will be the 60-year anniversary of the Justice League and Justice Society comic book crossover. Star Wars will be on its 4th season by then. It's probably the year we'll be getting the Arrowverse crossover. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. There's also that scene where he's handing Neo the red pill, but you also see his same hand in a mirror holding a blue pill. So what is he actually handing him? It could also be the machines trying to use a face that he trusts or his subconscious would trust to keep him under. There's definitely a lot of play with imagery and a lot of play with ideas in it. And I'm really, really excited to get into like the speculation and theorizing for it. And I can't wait for the next trailer we get. I cannot wait for this film, for The Matrix 4. I was skeptical until we saw the trailer, man. I am ready, man. Ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Restore Windows, because I accidentally closed all my windows. Whatever. That works. Prodeganon was the villain of the comic book crossover, and Prodeganon was mentioned in season 2. That is true. So they could be setting that up already. They definitely could. They do keep coming back to Prodeganon a lot. At least nobody disliked my Malignant review yet. Anyway, what if the new Morpheus is the new Mr. Smith? Jesus, my head canon. I think, and I mean, I think this is what a lot of other people said that we think Justin Goff's character might be the new Smith. Like I said, I don't know. Neil Patrick Harris is definitely a program. He's definitely there to keep Neo from remembering, from realizing that his dreams are real. We know the Merovingian, the actor, the original actor who played the Merovingian in the originals, is cast in to return. So that's going to be interesting to see how he plays into things. There's also rumors that this is a separate program designed specifically to insert Neo into, rather than they've inserted him into the actual Matrix itself, but he's in his own separate program, his own separate reality to keep him contained, which could tie into like that line from Justin Goff is like, funny to return to the place where this all started, to return to the Matrix, because maybe he has to leave this reality and go back into the actual Matrix itself. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's so crazy. I really wish Insomniac was making an Iron Man instead of Wolverine. I miss Tony Stark. It'd be complex. An Iron Man game would be a very complex game to make. With the flying, it's the same problems with making a Superman game. Their powers, to make it feel like an immersive experience, is very hard to develop and make it flow and be stable. Especially at the scale that they've already proven themselves to make with Spider-Man, it'd be really difficult. So Wolverine seems like a logical step, honestly, kind of backwards, because he's very grounded. He's very on the ground of a character. So Wolverine is a popular choice, but it was also kind of a surprising choice as a step forward. So I'm wondering, like, how complex this game is going to be. We'll just have to wait and find out. Ooh, whoops. But I do think it's long overdue for like a decent Superman game. Because it's another one of those things that's been done really hard. Like, it's been really hard to pull off. The closest thing to an accurate-ish Superman game has been that, what was it called? I've got it in my Steam library. Megaton Rainfall has been the closest to like a Superman style game that I've seen. Like, the most Superman-ish of a game that we've seen in a long time has probably been that game. What's up, Cam J? It's cool they're bringing back the Matrix universe, but I can honestly say I wasn't desiring it. I like the way the trilogy ended. I always wanted more after the trilogy, personally. I wanted to know what happened to Neo after that moment. I really wanted answers to what it hit. I loved it. I loved it a lot. I loved the trilogy, but I always did want more. But for me, I always felt like, well, now it just kind of feels like it's too little too late, maybe. Is the general populace going to care? I think the people that are only going to care are the people that grew up with the Matrix. I don't know if it's going to sell anybody on checking it out now. And how is this going to work as like an entry point for people that maybe didn't watch the original films, which is going to be quite a few people. So I don't know. I really don't know where it's going to go from here, man. I really don't. I don't know how it's going to perform either. We'll just have to play it by ear and see. How much time does it take to edit, for example, like a Titans reaction? Well, recording obviously usually takes me about an hour. The episodes itself is like 40-ish, 50 minutes. And then I talk before the video, talk after. So the recording process is like a little over an hour, typically. And then editing depends on distractions. But typically, I can finish an edit now because I've gotten faster and better about what I know I want to keep and what I don't. It can usually take me about an hour to 2 hours to finish an edit. And then I have to export it, which takes about 10 to 15 minutes, upload it, which depending on the day and YouTube and how it's behaving. Yesterday, when I was uploading Titans, it took 2.5 hours to upload my video, which is abnormal. And when it was only like a 20-some minute video, which should have only taken, with my internet speeds, should have only taken like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Should not have taken 2 hours and 2.5 hours. That was the pain in the ass, because that's 2.5 hours to find out if anything I put in left in the video is going to get claimed. And it did. So I had to wait 2 hours to find out that it got claimed. And it did. And then I tried to fight that claim, and they didn't respond to me until the day later. So I ended up just having to go back, tweak a couple of things, export it again, upload it again. And that's why my Titans episode was late yesterday. So like the whole process on a smooth running day, from recording to uploading to putting all the YouTube tags and everything, takes me about 3 to 4 hours on a good day when there's no problems. If I have problems with the recording, if I have problems with the internet, if I have problems with my editing, it can be the longest I think it's taken me to get a video up from recording to end goal has been like 12 hours. But that's been extreme situations. The longest editing time frame is usually, it can take me, depending on how complex the reaction I'm watching is, it can be anywhere from an hour to 4 hours, actually. So it's a really long range for me. It just really depends on what I'm editing and how difficult the episode is to trim down. Thank you for the super chat, Lucky. Rest in peace to the late, great Michael K. Williams. Are you familiar with him? What was my favorite role? Streamer. Honestly, I did. Rest in peace to the guy for sure. I have not seen anything he's been in. I even looked it up when I saw the post about his passing. I personally haven't seen anything he's been in, but I've been seeing a lot of great love go out to the guy, and it's always sad when a guy like that goes out of the world, man. And it's not like he was that old or anything either, so it's always kind of scary and just a shocking realization of how life works anymore, really. But yeah, rest in peace, my dude. I can't wait for a Spider-Man 2 game. Do you think it can be a multiplayer one? Is it Tony Todd voicing Venom and the graphics look great? The Wolverine have different sights. Oh yeah, Wolverine game would have a different feel and sights for sure. I'm really excited about Tony Todd voicing Venom. Like, I recognized him, like, just having seen Candyman not too long ago. Like, I was like, spot on. I know this voice. That's Tony freaking Todd. I'm really excited for it. It could be multiplayer. I just hope it isn't. I don't like when they add multiplayer into what is a really strong single player kind of game, because it always kind of detracts for me. I wanted more after Animatrix. Animatrix was really strong. I didn't appreciate it as much when I was a kid when it first came out, but I definitely appreciate it on revisits when I got older. That's for sure. What was that Knee horror movie good? Knee? Which movie are you talking about, Captain J? I think the villain for Wolverine game is Sabretooth. Could be. Or it could be somebody else from Weapon X. We'll just have to wait and find out. Is Killer Frost one of my favorite Arrowverse heroes? Hell no. I don't hate her, but she's like nowhere near one of my favorites. I wouldn't even call her my top 10. Do I use a gaming computer to edit? If so, which one? I'm in the market for one. Mine's custom. Like I ordered all the parts and put it together myself. Like it's not a pre-build. Like I've got a 9900K Intel processor, 32 gigs of RAM, a 2080 Ti as my graphics card. Got 2 terabytes of storage. Got a Cougar case, so with like 7 fans. 7 fans. because I was worried, because I've heard that the 9900K kind of has some heating issues. So I was like, okay, well, I got a liquid cooler on it, and I've got 7 fans on my case, so we're keeping this bitch cool. He's so great on The Wire. I've still never seen The Wire. What do you think Ben Affleck will do in The Flash? I think he'll just be there before Barry goes off into his journey, and I think that's the last time we'll see him. I don't know what he's actually going to be doing. Maybe he's in the middle of a chase with somebody, trying to catch a villain or something like that, or stop a robbery or some shit whenever we see him. Other than that, I really don't have any good strong guesses. For 72's PS5's DLC, you will get to play as Venom, like with what Arkham did with the Red Hood. That would be cool. That'd be cool for sure. Peace out, bro. Had awesome hanging and whining with you. See y'all later. Thank you, Philly. See you later, man. Was Malignant good? That's all. This is going to be one of those movies that's super divisive. Is it a good movie? I don't think so. Did I have a good time? Yes, but not for the reasons I think the movie wanted. Check out my review, my non-spoiler review. Check that out. I'll go into it more there. Here in HBO Max is, and obviously got one person that doesn't agree with me so far, but that's about it. But yeah, the reviews are out on it are very, very mixed. Even from people that I watched have been very mixed on the whole thing. So it's very interesting. I think it's going to be one of those divisive films. I had fun, but I was making fun of the movie the entire time. So that's going to be my speed. Here in HBO Max is very happy with Titans ratings. So I'm guessing season 4 and maybe the spinoff. Maybe. I haven't heard anything about HBO Max and Titans performance so far. I will say, for someone who really hated the first season, disliked the second season, I've been enjoying the crap out of this season. It still has a lot of problems, a lot of character problems, a lot of issues with the pacing and the story, things that just don't make sense just to get the ball rolling. Aside from those things, I've been having fun, and I had not had any fun in season 1 and season 2. I've been enjoying the season so far. You should watch The Wire and do reaction videos to it. Not many people are doing reaction video to old popular movies and shows. They're not, but it just depends on the show. It also might not be like worth the time, you know, because that's a lot of time to put into doing reactions if not a lot of people have it in demand. So we'll just have to see. I've thought about doing that before. I've thought about doing that with Smallville and Lucifer, since I haven't watched that and I haven't seen all of Smallville. So it's on the table, and The Wire could be one of those things, but I'm not too sure, man. What's up, Sheena? How are you doing? You at the pool today? Every weekend you're at the pool. Ugh. No pool. All right. Let's see. What have we not touched on? Super excited for God of War, but you're about to have some wine yourself. Nice. Really excited for God of War. What about the Legends finale? How did you guys feel about the finale of Legends? How did you feel about this season of Legends? I am not a fan. Found a local blackberry wine. I had to try it. Join in the club, I see. I haven't eaten today either prior to this, so I'm starting to feel a lot of it hit right now. What would I rate Malignant from? Well, okay, so as a serious horror film, I gave it a 4. As a campy horror film, I gave it an 8. take that as you will. This season of Legends jumped the shark for me. It was just ridiculous for ridiculous sake. And I don't feel like that's unusual for the ridiculousness. I just didn't think the story was good. It wasn't consistent. It wasn't strong. Or it didn't flow well. What they killed off Sarah. Say what you will about it being a clone. It's Sarah. Blah, blah, blah. Sarah's dead. The OG Sarah's dead. So it's just, and John's leaving. They reset his character back to the exact same thing he was at the beginning. So all of his growth is gone. And we'll probably never see him again. And then everybody else has just had really nothing to do. Mick is gone. It's just lame, man. It's just lame. What suits would I like to see in Spider-Man 2 video game? Out of all the suits we've seen so far, I'd like to see some more of the MCU suits, the variations we got, but the one suit that was missing in both iterations of the original game, man, I want that black suit Spider-Man. I want that symbiote suit Spider-Man, man. Give it. Give it. Now the Venom's in. I always thought, like, man, there's got to be a reason that is the only suit that's not in here. And we saw the teaser, and I was like, okay. I guess maybe because they have something to do with, they want to do something with Venom later, and we'll get the suit in one of the later games. But man, do I miss having that suit. I love that suit. So I'm looking forward to getting that one. Legends is a good drinking game show. Yeah, yeah. Dude, you could get wasted off of a Legends drinking game for sure. I've watched Legends in a year, saw a couple times, didn't know who the new characters were. Yeah, if you want to be technical, none of the original characters are still on the team. We've got a clone of Sarah, not the real Sarah, and she will be the only original actor from the original team left on the show after this season. Like, Eric at Blindwave made a really good point. After this season, and if Sarah ever leaves, she's the only person that even knows the origin of the Wave Rider, that even knows who Rip Hunter was, who even knows why the Legends exist to begin with. It's really weird. Really weird. I miss Snart too, man. I do. I gave up on Legends about 5 episodes in this season. I gave Batwoman 4 episodes, loving Stargirl, Superman, Lois. Batwoman 4 episodes of season 1 or season 2? I like season 1. I like season 1 of Batwoman quite a bit. Still watching Supergirl just to see it through. And that's where I'm at with Supergirl. It's the final season. I might as well just check it out. Now, if they announce that season 7 of Legends is the final season, I'll tune in for it. I'll react to it. It's the final season shtick. I've reacted to the final seasons of all these shows so far. I enjoy a Cabernet Sauvignon with my cigars, especially ones aged in bourbon barrels. I recommend Cooper and Thief. You know your taste. I'm still filling my stuff out. I'm only a recent alcoholic. Spider-Man PS4 released, the game director asked why there wasn't a symbiote, and his response was, symbiote deserves its own game. I hope we get a Sam Raimi black suit variant. That'd be cool. That would be cool. Who would win between Taskmaster and Winter Soldier before Wakanda? Shang-Chi, Xi-Ling from the movie Snake Eyes, Death Dealer, and the Mandarin if they all fought. I'd probably have to go with Taskmaster, actually. Like, in just martial arts, probably Taskmaster. Taskmaster or Shang-Chi? 4 episodes of season 2 of Batwoman, not for me. I feel ya. I thought the first couple episodes of Batwoman were fairly strong, and then the middle of it almost completely lost me. I agree, they should cancel Legends tomorrow. I feel like it's just running on fumes at the moment. I remember that Legends episode about Freddie Myers. Yeah, man, that was an interesting episode for sure. But yeah, I'd probably have to say either Shang-Chi or Taskmaster would win in just a pure martial arts fight. Stixie. Who would win between Quicksilver? You already asked that one. And I said the Flash from the DCEU. Ragu, would you give season 3 a shot? They're doing classic Batman villains like instead of lowlifes like Alice and Safia. Hey, I like Alice, but she's not really a villain. Even in the comics, she's an anti-hero. But they've made that. They're starting to make that transition. Seeing Bruce Banner in human form in Shang-Chi makes me hope Savage Hulk will return in the MCU. It's possible. My theory is that Shang-Chi takes place after She-Hulk. And because we know that on set he was wearing the motion capture dots and stuff like that. So I feel like he's probably Professor Hulk in the first episode. He gives her the blood transfusion. She becomes Hulkified, and after the blood transfusion, it weakens his Hulkness enough to revert him back to Banner. That's my guess. Sorry, I had to leave to go Target. No problem, man. No problem. But I think Flash from the DCEU would win in those races. You think Oliver would ever come back one more time? I do, under the right circumstances. Because he even mentioned recently that he'd be willing to come back if there was like if HBO or Netflix wanted to do a Arrow mini-series. Like limited series. So it'd be, yeah. Stargirl versus Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel would destroy Stargirl. Like, it's not even a fight. It's like Goku versus like a stormtrooper. I would say Makari from the Eternals. I mean, just from what I've seen, I don't really know much about Makari. If we're talking from what I've seen from the trailers, yeah, no. None of them are time reversing. So Flash in the DCEU can turn back time. So I don't think any of them beat that right now. And again, not from what I've seen, but I don't know them from the comics. I'm just talking from what I know from the trailers so far. I don't know. But Barry Allen and the DCEU can reverse time. Wally West in the comics is the fastest being in all of fiction. But Wally West in the Flash TV show has yet to do anything with time. So it just puts him a little bit behind. I watched the first 3 episodes of Heels, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm waiting for it to all be out, and then I'm going to be checking it out. I'm really looking forward to it. Can the Hulk's skin be pierced to have a blood transfusion? It's how she becomes She-Hulk in the comics, so I assume it's going to be the same here. Mad Hatter and Alice scenes will be very interesting. Yes, they will. I'd be curious to see those, especially since they always have to make a very strong distinction that they have nothing to do with each other. Captain Marvel and Thor versus Vision and Scarlet Witch. Well, I mean, Scarlet Witch is probably the most powerful character in the MCU right now. If she masters her powers, Thor and Captain Marvel can't do shit. Am I done with Game of Thrones? I hated the ending, but I'm still curious about House of Dragons. See, this is the problem with shitty endings. Like, I didn't mind how it ended. I hated how we got to the ending. A lot of what happened towards the end, I just kind of predicted. But, like, the hows of how we got there were just so terrible. No payoffs whatsoever for anything. And the problem with the House of Dragons is it's going to be a prequel. And all that tells me is that everything in this show doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's going to be all for nothing. because we know where it goes. We know how it ends up. We know how Westeros ends up. We know how Valyria ends up. We know where it's going to end. We know the ending of the show. We know the ending of the Targaryens. We know the ending of the dragons. We know the ending of the White Walkers. Everything that comes before builds to an ending that is fucking awful and gives no payoff or reward to any of it. So, like, I don't give a shit. You can have Matt Smith. I might watch it out of pure curiosity, but I don't give two fucks about your prequels that are set in this. If they retconned that ending, if this was separate from the Game of Thrones show, which it's not, it's a spinoff, they've confirmed that much. If it was not going to lead to that future, maybe I would give a shit. I don't give two shits about any of their Game of Thrones spinoffs, because in the end, none of it matters. Welcome to my TED Talk. I will be Greta Thunberg fan. Probably. I mean, Greta's got her head on straight, man. That's all I'm going to say. Falcon versus Birdman in DC. Who the fuck is Birdman? I said Birdman. I just thought of Birdman from Hanna-Barbera. Oh, shit. Okay, never mind. They made Birdman a... I didn't realize Birdman got turned into a DC character. Dude, Birdman. Birdman would whoop the shit out of Falcon. Sorry. It sucks because the ending can make and break a series no matter how well it started. 100%. Agree with that. I thought of the dude from Rick and Morty. The Attorney at Law. Birdman Attorney at Law is a good show, man. See, when you said Birdman, my mind immediately jumped to that Birdman, but then you said in DC, and I was like, wait a minute. He's not DC, he's Hanna-Barbera. What is he? And I had to look it up, and I was like, oh, shit, they did make some DC comics about Birdman. So, yeah. I mean, Birdman, yeah, man. He's solar-powered, he shoots lasers from his fists, he can create shields. He's got his own rings. The only problem is he's solar-powered. You get him out of the sun for long enough, he might lose his powers, but I think that'd work. Bran will jump back in time and tell them how the show ends, and then they'll change it then. They'll change time. Maybe Bran might influence and change the outcome of things, maybe, because we saw he influenced the past by being the cause of Hodor getting that brain damage. But then again, it became one of those things that already happened, so that means that the future was predestined. Because Bran's involvement already happened because Hodor was already Hodor, regardless of Bran's involvement or not, which means in the future, Bran was always destined to go back and create that moment, which means all of Game of Thrones was predestined, and it never made sense in the end. Spider-Man versus Black Spider from DC. Spider-Man. I don't know. Who the fuck's Black Spider? You guys are finding characters I don't even know. Black Spider, DC. How the fuck did my cat just screech like a motherfucker? Here we go. Okay, well, Black Spider has no powers, so Spider-Man. Would you like a supervillain created after me? What the fuck? What would I be? What would they be? I mean, sure. Come on. Do something cool. My Marvel 2023 prediction: Ant-Man 3, Guardians 3, Fantastic Four, Deadpool 3, Blade. Not too bad. Tom Holland Spider-Man. Tom Holland Spider-Man. Tom Holland Spider-Man. I think he'd still win. Only 2 more weeks and they will make a lot of fans angry if Diggle doesn't accept the ring. Oh, yeah. The final Diggle episode. In his interview, he said it's all about him accepting this cosmic calling that he's been denying. And if he doesn't in this episode, yeah, I'll be fucking pissed. Omn1 from 2034 coming back to the past to stop all media and can call on control of the media through his minions. What? Oh god, what was that? Aquaman versus Namor? I think in a fight Aquaman would win, but yeah, it'd be a close one. Wish the DCU was more well developed like the MCU. I was watching Shang-Chi, loving it, thinking DCU should be on your second Teen Titans movie right now, or releasing Static Shock. Yeah, it sucks, man. I love a lot of their films, but man, yeah, I definitely wish they were in a better spot. For sure. For sure, man. Like I've always said, I think being a DC fan is like just being in an abusive relationship. You're just always holding out hope that maybe next time they'll do better. Maybe they can change. Maybe they can be better. Maybe they'll stop hurting me. Omn1. Solos Media. Groot versus Nom Sharkman. I think Groot could beat King Shark. I think Groot could beat King Shark pretty easily. Omni Solos YouTube. Oh, my throat, man. Dried out real hard right there. Which DC movie are you most looking forward to in 2022? For me, it's The Flash. I'm most optimistic about The Batman. I'm most curious about The Flash. I'm excited to see The Flash, but I'm really, really concerned about The Flash. But I'm excited about The Batman, but I'm confident The Batman's going to be a decent movie. So it's a little bit of a different reasoning for both. So we'll just have to see. W is the X with flowers, but the flowers are the Batman movie. I'm sorry I hurt you. I'll do better next time. Here's some flowers. This is the Batman. How many wine bottles I got? I got 4 in the fridge right now. 2 of my usual local blackberry stuff, and then a couple of Knocking Point bottles I have yet to finish because I don't really like them that much, but I'll drink them eventually. Why am I concerned for the Flash? Because it just seems like a big old flashy distraction. I'm worried about it all being coherent. I know that the movie is literally a retcon for the DC universe. It's not a Flashpoint adaptation. Rumors are Reverse Flash isn't in it, and it's an evil Barry Allen. I don't know, man. I'm excited, but I'm worried they're just going to shoot themselves in the foot with a lot of things. But I don't know, man. We'll just have to see. I've gotten excited about things and heavily disappointed about Warner Brothers. I think it is a Warner Brothers ploy to just get their universe on track. So we just have to see how they do it. If you become a villain with powers over media, the first thing you need to do is destroy the sci-fi version of Dune. We'll see. If I had the power to change media or anything like that, I would erase The Last Airbender from just reality. The movie, obviously, not the show. And I would be tinkering a lot with the DC universe. What DC AU movie would I make into live action? Under the Red Hood. Under the Red Hood. Who would I have as my Batman? Ben Affleck. Who would I have as my Red Hood? Jensen Ackles. Why not? Just go keep him. Dick Grayson. Let's just use the Titans guy. I don't know. I feel like all the pieces are kind of always there. Just kind of restructure them. Doctor Strange, Morbius, Thor, Marvel, Spider-Man, Spider-Verse 2, Black Panther 2. Well, if you were WB, would you start a new universe or try to fix the mess with the Flash movie? Oh, I'd try to fix the mess with the Flash movie. I suggested it like 2-3 years ago before they even announced it. I said the only thing they can do to fix this universe is a Flashpoint. Even though I don't agree with it being the Flash's first solo film, it's the only way they can fix their continuity. But again, it's all on how they execute it. I don't blame them for what they're doing. I'm just concerned about where their head's at, what they're going to do, what they're going to adapt, what they're going to keep, what they're going to get rid of. Are they going to get rid of things that I liked? Are they going to keep things I liked? Like, I've just got there's a lot riding on this Flash movie, and like it's been very clear about their marketing, about their release schedule, that a lot of their future plans are centered around the Flash. So we'll just see. I still really don't like Ezra, so that's an issue. A lot of people don't. I don't mind Ezra. I like Ezra. He's his own Barry Allen. He's a very different Barry Allen, and I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. But we'll just have to see where he goes. Do I drink Moscato? I have. I'll be honest, like I've said, I've only recently, like in the past couple years, started like dabbling into wines and stuff. So I still can't ever remember what is what. I just know it's got a blackberry on it, so I know I like that taste. So that's how I win. Kind of missed the show Jupiter Ascending. I know it was canceled, but I think it was such a good concept of characters, but bad execution. Well, that's why I got canceled. But, yeah, I didn't have any interest in the show. I didn't think it looked good from the get-go, and I just never checked it out. After they canceled it, I also lost complete interest in checking it out personally. Which movie do I like better, the Justice League or the Suicide Squad? Okay, yeah, the Suicide Squad, man, easy. So the Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad 2016, still the Suicide Squad. In retrospect, the Justice League is Abomination. Damn it. I think I'm just rolling on the meme on that one. Honestly, I don't like the Suicide Squad movie that much. It's my least favorite DC film. I even like the Justice League more than the Suicide Squad. The first Suicide Squad. Just Suicide Squad. So, yeah, never mind. We'll go with that. I want a Suicide Squad Arrowverse show to replace Legends of Tomorrow. Yes, that would be cool. That would be cool. Jupiter Ascending was something else. Oh, yeah, you're right. Jupiter Ascending was that a movie with Channing Tatum and Jackie. Fuck, what's her name? Why am I blanking on her name? God, why can't I remember her name? Snyder Cut or The Suicide Squad? Snyder Cut. Snyder Cut's still my favorite DC EU film. Second place, though, is The Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad 2016 is worse than Wonder Woman 84? How? Because I at least enjoyed 84 for how bad it was. I can still watch Mila Kunis, yes. I keep wanting to say Mia Jovovich, and that's not the same person. Wonder Woman 84 was entertaining in a bad way. Like, it's not a great movie, but I enjoyed it way more. I'm more likely to rewatch Wonder Woman 84 than I am to watch Suicide Squad. I just think the Suicide Squad, the first one's boring. You're right, it's Jackie Bernhardt. Insomniac's Wolverine has me wanting to play the old movie game. I actually have that on my shelf somewhere. The old Wolverine Origins game. Made sure to get it on PlayStation so that it wasn't censored and you can get the hard, gritty, gross regeneration effect on there. A 70s show comeback show. I would love that, man. I love they did that. Though, kind of hard to do with Hyde being in jail. Oh yeah, how did his hearing turn out? What's his name? Danny Masterson. Yeah. How'd his court hearing go? Looks like it. Well, as of no updates as of June 7th, but he was arraigned at that point. So we'll see. We'll see. They'd have to do it without Hyde, more than likely. Yeah, Uncaged Edition's definitely better. Uncaged Edition. Yeah, that one was good. I don't know if you already talked about this or not, but do you think the KOTOR remake is going to be an RPG? I imagine it's going to still be... I have to imagine it's going to keep the RPG element. But to what extent? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to keep or change. They hired people from Dark Souls and Ghost of Tsushima to help develop the game. So it almost makes me feel like they might discard the combat system for a more action-based one. But I feel like the character choice and the character branches and the character, like the dialogue trees, have to still be in there, right? I don't know, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. The hell? What are the thoughts on Henry Cavill's Superman, Black Adam, or Flashpoint rumors? I hope he's in it, man. I really want to see more Henry Cavill. Center Cut or Endgame? Chicken Little, Soul, or which movie? What the fuck? I mean, out of all of those, I mean, I do enjoy Endgame the most. I think Snyder Cut is a better movie than Endgame, but I get way more hype out of Endgame. I definitely enjoy both of those more than Soul and Chicken Little, though. Heard Laura Pepton left Scientology. Careful, Laura. I didn't know she was in it. Anyway, guys, give me 1 second here. I will be right back. Actually, you know, it's been 2.5 hours. I'm going to get some food because I've been just drinking. I haven't had any food in me today. But it's been a fun stream. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you got any questions, drop them in the Discord. Drop them in the comments, and I'll try to get you guys afterwards. If I don't hop back on for a stream tonight or tomorrow, who knows? Well, again, I don't make promises with those. But thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.